I want a story time on how I met my baby dad. But I've been keeping this a secret for a long time. So when I tell y'all, don't go telling everybody. So
Girl, I'm not gonna tell nobody.
so my second baby dad was my first baby dad's stepdad.
Wait, what she say?
So my second baby dad was my first baby dad's stepdad.
Cousin. Y'all ready to hear this story? Okay, so in case y'all did not get the message before this story is about a girl who was about, at the time, 18 or 19 years old, who got pregnant for her. I just listen.
Keep up. My second baby dad was my first baby dad's stepdad. I first met my baby dad when I was like 16 years old, my second baby dad. I first met him when I was like 16 years old. I was dating my first baby dad. But at the time, I didn't have a child by my first baby dad. He was just my boyfriend, you feel me? And so my second baby dad was dating my first baby dad mom. So, yeah, twisted, I know. Before y'all judge me, let me just hear my story. So at the time, I was 16 years old, dating my boyfriend, which is now my first child's dad. So he stayed out late one night, and this is how me and my second baby dad encounter each other.
Anybody else felt like this to get back because he wasn't acting right?
Each other. My baby dad was, my boyfriend at the time was out all night, at a party. I'm blowing up his phone. He not answering. Y'all know how motherfuckers be when they 16 years old. I'm at his house though. So my second baby dad, which at the time was my boyfriend's mom boyfriend. Y'all keep it up. He walks in the room, he sit on the bed, and he say, "You don't need to be crying over no boy, whatever, woo, woo, woo. You need a man like me in your life." So I was like, like my mouth dropped. I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, this old ass man and whatever, because at the time I'm dating somebody my age. I'm 16. So I'm like, why would he say that? But I ain't taking, nothing, whatever. So let's just skip. A couple years later, I ended up pregnant by my boyfriend. So with my son dad. So I ended up pregnant by him. And y'all, he was just doing me so dirty. He had a girlfriend. My mom ended up moving to Ohio. So I went to go move to Ohio with my mom, Toledo. That's where I had my son at. But so yeah. So I'm pregnant by this man that's just dogging me. I got pregnant at like 18 years old, whatever. So y'all know the stepdad, he used to call me telling me all the information. Like he just used to be like, yeah, he over here with a girl right now. And I'm all the way in a whole nother state. So that shit used to hurt my feelings. I'm pregnant. This man not answering the phone for me. He don't give a fuck. He like, they got a baby on the way. He just used to tell me so much. So I wanted to come back to Minnesota so bad because I'm like, that's probably why, I was just young and dumb. I'm like, that's probably why this bitch got him because, I used to argue with the girl so bad, so bad. But I'm like, that's probably why she got him because I'm out of state. If I come back, I know I'm going to get him, but I don't have nowhere to go if I go to Minnesota. That's why I be saying I don't have family here because my family is not from here. I came up here because, yeah. So the stepdad, he a grown-ass man. He like, you could come stay with me, you and your son, y'all come stay with me, whatever. I'll get you a ticket up here. So I initially came here to kind of work things out with my first baby dad. So yeah, y'all, I come to Minnesota, come stay with this man. He say, cause he was familiar. I know him. It wasn't like a real stranger. And at the time, y'all, we was talking on the phone damn near every day. He was telling me so much. And whole time I'm really thinking he being like a father figure to me. Whole time he was praying on me. But whatever. So I come to Minnesota, and at the time I had a friend because they ended up sleeping with each other, whatever. Me and this girl was friends for a long time. And me and her friends on TikTok. So if you see this video, I'm not being messy. I'm just telling my story. So don't jump in my comment section with that shit.
So let's make this long story short, okay? So basically, she conversating with this stepdad the whole time, right? And the stepdad convinces her to move back to Missouri, where she has no family, no friends, nobody out there, okay? And she was basically living out there with her mom. Her mom moved to Ohio. And so she decides that her and her son are going to come live with this guy now. Make it make sense.
Before I get back into the story, please keep y'all, I see y'all comments, please keep y'all disrespect to a minimum, like, for real. And some of y'all just crazy talking about, so my first baby dad is related to my child. How? I didn't say his biological dad. And him and the mom wasn't even married. They was just dating, so technically it really wasn't his stepdad, but I just
Sis, calm down, because what it sound like is you attacking me, okay? Now you want to say that these people weren't even together, but okay, if they were staying in the home together, they were an item or People say that item. I sound so old. Y'all not even that old. Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all know they were dating. You know the boy was calling the man dad. All this stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know how people are like go with people or date people that are intertwined in other people they know. That's like dating your best friend, favorite cousin. You know? Something like that.
Stepdad, but I just say stepdad because my first baby dad called him dad. So, okay, so yeah, so I'm in the bed with this man. We didn't do nothing. We didn't even talk. I'm not even gonna lie. I was creeped out. I was very creeped out because I'm like, I did not come all the way to Minnesota to share rooms with this man. We didn't even talk to each other. We nothing like.
Okay, let's start over. That's like dating your cousin's friend. That makes sense. Yeah, but y'all know a lot of cheating do that. Make it make sense. What y'all think? Y'all think that's like you would date somebody's dad or stepdad? Like if y'all broke up, would you date your boyfriend or girlfriend's dad, stepdad, uncle, favorite cousin after y'all broke up?
Nothing. Like I'm telling y'all, it was nothing. So my first baby dad ended up finding out. I'm back in Minnesota. I told him, I'm like, what's up? Let's link up. Mind y'all, he never met his son because he thought I was in a whole other state. He wasn't coming to Ohio. So, you know, my son like 5 months at this point. He met his son at 5 months. So we finally link up. He fell in love with my baby. He fell back in love with me. He left his girlfriend just like that. But mind y'all, me and him was dating since we was like 15 or whatever, 16. And then when I moved away, he got a girlfriend. But when I was in Ohio, we did have a long distance relationship. But y'all know how it is. It's kind of hard to have a long distance relationship. But when I ended up pregnant, we call ourselves just being together off and on. It was just a whole lot. Like this was like my first love. So that's how me and the stepdad had built this relationship because he used to call me and tell me everything my baby dad used to do and say about me. He'll be like, video call me, I'm finna show you he with this girl right now, and he'll be putting them on the camera and stuff, and that shit was really hurting my feelings, y'all, so bad because me and him caught ourselves doing a long distance relationship shit. But so y'all listen, this where it get juicy at, right? So I tell my baby dad, like, ask your mom, can I stay with you? You know, so we can try to work our, you know, get our own apartment, get some jobs and stuff like that. You feel me? So he was like, all right, bet.
Hey, catch the tea, y'all. Catch the tea. Watch this next one.
But my Dukes wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. She like, ain't nobody finna stay with me. She was done. She was even done with her kids. She was done. She like, everybody gotta move the fuck around. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. She was a good ass grandma. She did pass away. So I'm not gonna disrespect his mom. We did have our ups and downs through this whole situation. But one thing I can always say, she was a good grandma. This is where it get real juicy at. So I'm sitting at her house, you know what I'm saying? We eating, you know, so I'm feeling like, okay, you know, my baby dad like talk to her, maybe, you know, whatever. So next thing you know, she like, yeah, my man finna come over, so, you know, we gonna have to move around and stuff like that. So why is a knock on the door? Mind y'all, the person that I'm staying with, my second baby dad, who is now my second baby dad, he was blowing up my phone, like, where you at? What time you coming home? Oh, you with him?
So she just sat there and gave us the whole storyline. Now, ain't this some tea? Ain't this some tea? But y'all, I don't know. It's giving like immature, but it's also giving back like revenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to get him back for what he did to you? And you just gonna, I don't know. It don't make sense. It don't make sense to young people. No, that made me sound old. These crazy people. There you go. That's all right.
Oh, you with him? So I'm just like, it was giving off. I didn't know he liked me, y'all. I'm talking about in person, we didn't really talk. So I didn't know he liked me for real. So, you know, he blowing up my phone, whatever. Next thing you know, he knocking on the door. And he walk in and he was like, what's up? I look at him, I'm like, oh, this is weird. Then he go say, what's up, JoJo, to my son, give him a 5. You know, my son already familiar with his face, so he, hey, you know, whatever. So, my baby. So I guess it's a man instinct to know when something ain't right or something off. You know, his mama didn't really like, you know, put 2 and 2 together, but he like, how you know my son's name? He like, oh, I'm friends with her on Facebook and shit like that. So my baby dad take his crybaby ass in the room and start lurking on my page and see that the man started loving all my pictures and, you know, stuff like that.
So you're assuming that your first baby dad would be okay with you messing with a stepdad, somebody that raised him? that's way older than you, like 20, 30 years older than you, you would think that he would be okay with that. Make it make sense.
Whatever. So as we in the house, he's texting me like, what's going on with y'all two? I'm like, what you mean what's going on with us too? Like, so my first baby dad was just basically trying to put two and two together. Like, I feel like y'all got something going on because, you know, y'all friends on Facebook. He be commenting on your status. But I was sensing that dude liked me, my second baby dad. I was sensing that, you know, I'm like, okay, I think he do kind of like me. I wasn't dumb. But I didn't, but it was something telling me like, no, I don't think so because I don't think he'll, you know, cross them lines or whatever. So the stepdad used to go to work every day from 8 to 4. And like I said, y'all, we used to always just text each other, but it wasn't really about nothing. So he had bought me some hair and I had did my hair, and then I think I had went to one of his family functions, and this how it started. His family asked who I was, and he introduced me as his girlfriend. I was not his girlfriend, so I was kind of shocked as fuck. Like, you know, he was like, they wouldn't understand the situation, so I'm just gonna say, you know, such and such. So I'm like, okay. So as I'm sitting there, we at his family house, he's texting me like, I see you smiling, talking to my family. I haven't seen you smile since you've been around, and da da da. He was like, how would it feel if I really made you mine or something like that? Y'all, I'm talking about, I'm sitting right across from him, so I can't act like I'm not seeing the message, but I was honestly like, you know, I was like, I was so scared. Like, I was creeped out. I was just like, oh my God, this not right. Y'all, I was just... So I replied to the message. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I just basically was like, yeah, you know, that'll be great, whatever. So we ended up getting back to the house. I'm like, my back hurt. Y'all know he gave me a massage, and it ended with a happy ending. And and I ain't gonna lie, you know, when we did that, I'm like, damn, this with a grown man. And all this and saying, you know, whatever, but done watch the whole story to hear what had happened. What does that say about you?
So you don't sit your ragged ass down swinging about it? No, I'm not thinking about it. But what you publicly? Because I'm nosy. I am nosy, baby. Nosy. And I don't have a stepdaddy, so there's that.
You're really nasty. The fuck? Because why do you want to listen to a story about how I made my first baby dad, stepdad, my baby dad?
I'll stop the cap. Yeah, I was...
Huh? Are you thinking about it? Horn dog? So, anywho.
Yes, baby, it's okay to sleep with someone and not like them. Stop trying to put an emotional tie on this guy. That's the first problem. Baby, where's your mama? Like, who is your advice counselor? You ain't called nobody to vent, to have therapy, to talk about it. You just went out on this whim and you're still talking about it. But I'ma listen.
After we done did what we did, I guess we was dating. So, you know, he was texting me the next day like, oh my God, like last night was just so amazing. And I ain't gonna lie, I was feeling the same way. I'm like, yeah. But y'all, I still didn't like him. Like, if y'all get what I'm saying. So, he wasn't postable. So, a lot of people from my hometown is probably just now hearing about this because I've never posted my second baby dad ever. First of all, I was ashamed because I'm like, he way older than me. And then, a lot of people didn't know he dated my first baby dad mom. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. So, I wasn't trying to be on social media with this man, but we was together in real life. But I did kind of grow to like him. So, boom, how did the mom find out? So, first, let me get into my first baby dad. So, I had wrote him one day, like, can you get my son, whatever? Why this man had his bitch write me back? Like, just, like, sassy. So, me and her arguing. So, I tell him, like, so I couldn't wait to throw it in his face because he just literally let a motherfucker take his phone, argue with me, and saying he can't get his son. Y'all, she was so jealous of my son, but whatever. So, she made him say this ain't his baby. Well, she didn't make him say it because technically, you know, can't make a motherfucker do nothing, but whatever. So, I couldn't wait to throw it in his face. He told me and her talking about fighting and all this, that, and the other. I'm like, you know what? You can fight my man, your stepdad. He, what? Yeah. All the shit that you thought, yeah. Now we really doing it. So, you know, he blocked me. Block. So I reach out to his mom. I'm like, you know, your son weak. Like, you need to...
I don't even care that the mama found out because it ain't like you gonna say nothing or do nothing or, like, get away from this guy. Like, he giving predator vibes. I'm sorry,
you need to, like, you know, she don't come to me with that shit. They ain't got shit to do with me, you know, which it didn't. But, you know, this your son. But y'all, I'm not even gonna do too much on the mom because she did pass away, but I'm just really telling the story. So how she found out, I threw it in her face too. So
There you go, being messy. There you go. Immaturity at its best.
So, you know, she kind of got on my ass. I ain't gonna lie, his mom is she was a YT woman, and but she had a mouth on her. So, you know, she treated my ass. So I'm like, you know, what? That's why I'm so her reaction was just like, wow, she wrote him. Like, she wrote him and he gave me the phone and showed me like, yeah, so I wrote her back like, don't write my man. And she blocked him. Y'all, that was just crazy to me. But she was a good grandma. Like, she really was a good grandma. The family dynamic was weird when I first started bringing my son around. I was a little like, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little embarrassed. I was a little ashamed like to go around because I'm like, oh wow, I just did some dirty ass shit.
But I feel like you didn't feel no type of way about doing it because, like, you smiling about it and you still did it. You still brought your child around this situation. And that's weird to me. Like, anything could happen.
He used to drop me off over there, but he used to text my phone like crazy, like, what is you doing? But I'm not gonna lie, my second baby dad really like was like obsessed with me. Like, it was like crazy obsessed. Like, y'all, it got crazy. Like, he started abusing me. So then to get into the get back with him, he had a roommate. And it was his sister and her boyfriend stayed with us. And so, you know, so once me and my baby dad relationship ended, I started dating the sister boyfriend. So
I don't know, y'all. This story gave, like, unresolved issues. Like, girl, you need a hug after this? Like, I don't think that's appropriate to date, like, somebody that's close to anybody you know. Like, but I also feel like if you're in a small town or a small city, like, you have no choice. Everybody know each other. Like, you're gonna date somebody that somebody else know, right? But like, I would go out my way to date somebody that nobody knows. And for the fact that you were young, you didn't know any better. Like, I felt like she should have reached out for guidance before jumping in those type of situations with these guys, because now you have 2 kids from 2 different men and, like, no support besides your mom, and that's it. But you're raising 2 kids on your own. Like, I don't know. You could have a lot of potential. Like, I just hope that whatever she's going through in life, or she felt the need to tell this story, I hope that it allowed her to heal and grow and not make those same stupid ass mistakes. Bye, cousins. I'll see y'all later on this week.